Dr. Kemi for Kemi Talks Media. It's Sunday, the 2nd of February, 2025. Guys, you see why I'm leaving journalism in 6 days? This is one of the classic reasons, and I want you to look at this story very carefully. When a journalist is independent and they're getting all the news, the information, the sources, and they're putting it out, others will be on standby and check my page to steal the information, and then they'll put it on their own larger platforms so they can look like the authority. This is what happened when I broke the story in February of 2000 that Nigeria has COVID. Remember how I broke the COVID story and BBC called me and they wanted to know how I knew and everything? The same thing with Abba Kyari, Chief of Staffs. His death. Let's not go into it. Hush puppy, name it. I've broken so many stories. Because I have no money, because I have no salary, because nobody will hire me, I put in the work. This is what I got tired of. The bullying and the harassment made me flee Nigeria, and I just couldn't do it anymore. There are some of you that have talent out there. You have ideas. You will not go post those ideas or go give it to a state governor who will steal that idea and turn it to somebody else's idea. And I've seen a lot of that going on in Nigeria. Two guys came up to me. They came up with an idea. They sent it to the Oyo State government, not Seyi Makinde's administration, but another one, where the state now converted their ideas into theirs. People do that. Don't tell people your plans when you're doing that. Okay? Don't sell your idea to anybody. They'll steal it. But in news, it's not the same. You have bloggers who don't credit anything that you do. I am a blogger and I'm also a journalist. I was Nigeria's first ever blogger, 1999, Pyra Google. Okay? That's when I started blogging. 2004, Uche Pedro, Bella Niger. 2007, Linda Ekeji. 2009, Esabod, and the rest is history. Okay? But my own blogging was spanning around America. I was the blogger for many TV shows. At the same time, I was a journalist since 1994. I was a blogger for several TV shows, Being Bobby Brown with Whitney and Bobby, and also Donald Trump, The Apprentice. That's where I knew Trump from. So many things I've done that you don't know. Now, I'm really glad this happened today, the week I'm leaving, because this is a good example for you guys. The school where I teach journalism studies, media studies, is also closing this week for good. So I won't be able to teach that in a class, but just listen to this. If you know anyone in mass communications, make sure you send this video to them. This morning, okay, a lot of you heard this weekend that Dr. Ikena Erine, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but Dr. Ikena Erine, the cardiologist that died himself in America. A lot of you read it on Instablog this morning, over $15,000, right? Child support. It was quite unusual. I spent 9 hours today, 2nd of February, 9 hours from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. Nigerian time. I use Nigerian time to illustrate because I'm not in Nigeria. Imagine doing all that work, making phone calls, doing this, doing that. This guy went to schools I know. He worked at universities I know, University of Maryland, this one, that one. I lived in Maryland 20 years out of my 31 years in States. At the end of the day, I know who to call. I worked at WBAL, television and radio. I interned there, I worked there, so I know the media to contact, even if it has to be the ones in Southern Maryland, NBC4 and the news over there in the DC area. Knowing that these guys had a media blackout this week, in other words, the Southern Maryland DC stations have been busy with the plane crash and helicopter. Knowing that they had that, I said, let me wait till Monday. I want to find out what's going on. However, Ikena is going to be buried tomorrow, Monday. In my research, every blogger posted this morning that Ikena's unrevealed ex-wife yet to be... Everybody did not know who the ex-wife was. And it looked like they were actually hiding her name for her protection or whatnot. Nobody knew. Remember what I did on my video this morning? I said, a whole punch Vanguard writing committed suicide, this one. They didn't even know anything. The newspapers are copying the bloggers. They have nothing to report. They are not trained. It is a mess. I heard that Dayo Ketola has left the Punch as editor. The Punch is a shame. You won't believe what they did. So this morning during my investigation, I found out that Suzette Chigobu is the ex-wife of this guy. Okay, some of them are saying they never even married, it was just ex-partner. Imagine Punch using the word ex-partner. They were married. I did a 9-hour investigation with my own money and time. Do you know what I mean by my own money? How do you spend money? When you pick up the phone and call America, that's money. When you turn on your data and start filing stories, that's money. When you turn on your data and start filming videos on TikTok, posting it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that's money. It adds up. This is why I have to leave this stupid profession that Nigerians ruined for me. At the end of the day, I was the one, Dr. Kemi Lawrence, that told Nigerians that Francis Van Larie is Suzette's father. I revealed it in my video this morning. And I said, remember the guy that used to have list of who he has nacked? Batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. When your father-in-law is the devil himself, these kind of things happen. I knew Van Larie had some kind of involvement in this stuff. He kept quiet. He didn't want anyone to know his daughter's name. And then I found out. Guess what? After I put all that out for you guys, look what I saw. The Punch newspaper. Just read this. Initially believed to have taken his own life due to financial strain. Initially believed, coming from a mainstream newspaper. What is wrong at the Punch? My uncle owned this paper and he passed away. Since my uncle died, okay, Auntie Angela has been running the paper as chairman because Wale also died. Wale Abodering. My uncle is Olu Abodering. Wumi and Auntie Angela have been running the paper. All these editors are fucked up. And I'm glad Oketola is gone. But who is at the Punch? Initially believed. How do you report fake news? And you're saying that misinformation, Nigerians were passing misinformation. Now, you come to my page, you steal my whole story. Francis Van Larie, the father of Erine's estranged partner. She is not an estranged partner. She's an ex-wife. They filed for divorce. Has alleged that before his suicide, the deceased doctor held his daughter and grandchildren hostage at gunpoint for 3 hours. Now, I had that information, but I was not going to put it out until I hear from Elkridge Police. This is my area. This is my side in Maryland. Elkridge is like within Southern Maryland and Baltimore County and Arundel County. It's actually near Ellicott City. So I said I'll call the police tomorrow. Maybe I'll call an Arundel police. Okay, because when I saw this held them at gunpoint for 3 hours, okay, it looked like it could end as murder-suicide. You know what I mean? As in, he kills himself, then he kills the children and the woman. Van Larie did not talk. He was hiding the daughter's name. Now, guys, he says, while I sympathize with his family, my daughter is not to blame for his death. Now, how cold and callous is that? Like I said, when your father-in-law is the devil himself, a man posting names of women he claimed he bedded, and some of them came out and said he's a liar. And I thank God it did not escalate to where he shot my daughter, grandchildren, and himself, the father-in-law stated. Okay, so let's go down. Next thing. Bloggers who come to my page steal my story. Amanda Chisholm, a fraudster. A fraudster who masks herself as a blogger is the one that Punch is getting references for. If you hate me, tell me you hate me. This is what happened to me in Nigeria. The Nigerian media blackballed me, meaning that they don't quote me, they don't post my stories, they don't cite me as a source, but I get that news every time first before them. Look at the bottom there. However, Chisholm debunked the claims saying that the mother of his children is actually an Igbo woman, the daughter of Francis Van Larie. I was the first to reveal that this morning, as early as 7 a.m. Nigerian time. Guys, you see what they do? Because misinformation, look at that, he did not marry a white woman. Misinformation spreads rapidly with many Nigerians believing it was a white woman. No Nigerian believed it was a white woman. Anyone following me found out that it was Suzette Chigbogu, okay? One of Van Larie's daughters. A useless man who was begging people listing their names. Amanda Chisholm, a fraudster. Punch, you are finished.